Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and we are back again for another Max Monday. It's another start of a week as well on Pokemon Go. A lot happening again this week with the Dynamax Max Monday, of course, the Spotlight Hour that we always have, the Raid Hour on Wednesday, then also the Kanto Celebrations event. We also have a weekend events, including a Raid Day. So a lot going on yet again in this week on Pokemon Go, but today is Max Monday and it's featuring Dynamax Pidove, and you can see a couple of early ones. There's one just there in the distance, and there's also one a little bit further down here on the second Dynamax spot that you can see. So we are going to head down to that early one down here just to try and get one before 6 p.m. Hey Kiki, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. Hopefully you're doing good. But we're also going to try and work on some of these research tasks now for the XP. The research tasks for the XP, we've got defeat 5 Team Go Rocket members and follow 2 routes. YT Slams in the chat, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. Also, I did not get a Shundo, but I got a shine and named him Hattie 2, and yes, I was good. Yeah, awesome. I'm glad that you didn't get a Shundo that time. Yeah, I'm good, YT Slams, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. So, Max Monday, yet again on Pokemon Go. And this week featuring Dynamax Pidove. Dynamax Pidove, or its evolution, Dynamax Unpheasant, isn't an overly brilliant Dynamax Pokemon, but it's not too bad. Potentially a move change could make it a little bit better. I don't think it's really got a quick enough flying fast move to actually be meta relevant at the moment. But if ever it got a quicker fast move, then it may actually become meta relevant in terms of a flying type Dynamax. But at the moment it's just sort of tier 3, I would say, as a Dynamax. So not top tier, but somewhere in the middle. So it's not a terrible one to have, but there is other ones that are better than it as a flying type, including, of course, the Kanto Legendary Birds as a Dynamax. 10 kilometer egg. Come on, Pawnyard. Didn't want a Pawnyard, but oh well. Yeah, it's not too bad, but not good enough to keep. We'll get rid of Pawnyard. Sorry, mate. Go on. That thing. That little turtonator. God, I hate that thing so much. It will never shine for me. It hates me. It's a mutual hatred. It just doesn't shine, that turtonator doesn't. Seen so many of them now. That will shine though. Hey, Silly Soph. Thanks so much for joining. And we have a shiny. Not quite the full-on shiny I wanted tonight, but still. Pawnyard is in the bin, it's gone. Good riddance. Shiny Slowpoke. It is a 2-star. Not too bad. Keep it for now. I'd have much preferred that Cherubi as a shiny. So right, the first Dynamax power spot is here on the right, but that one is currently Silly Sophie. Look, yeah, Silly Soph literally joined me chat, and then we ended up dropping a shiny. So that was pretty lucky. Might get people to do that more often. Just drop in as I want to click on a shiny. Only comment when it's something I want shiny, and then we'll get it. So yeah, there's an early Pidove down here. Ooh, Skidoo. No. That is such a nice shiny Skidoo. It doesn't change too much, but it is such a nice shiny. It's not as good as my India look. Yeah, you do get some insane look. So in terms of max particles tonight, the max particle cost for Dynamax Pidove, it's a level 1, so it costs 250 max particles. We have the full amount, or over a full amount, 1,630, meaning that we can do, quick math, 6 in total. Plus we haven't yet claimed, well, we've got 500 more to claim today, as you can see there. So we should be able to do around about 8, maybe 9, depending on how we claim them, whether we're sneaky enough to claim them the right way, that we can get an extra one. But it is always going to be the case where I live of actually seeing how many we can get to, because they are spaced out quite a bit, these Dynamax power spots. And that was a whole reason to try and get an early one, just to save us having to walk too far in between the hour. So let's jump in on this early Dynamax Pidove and see what we start off with in terms of a good one. I got another shiny though. It was Exeter. Mega Rayquaza is crazy. Yeah, Mega Rayquaza is crazy. Definitely. But yeah, Rayquaza will be coming out onto the game again this next season, or the season that starts tomorrow, I believe. So yeah, the new season starts very, very soon. I think it's tomorrow. And that is going to be quite an interesting season. Of course, the other form of Keldeo as well is going to be coming out onto the game, the Resolute form. And if you've not yet encountered Keldeo, you will be able to do that for the first time during a special research. But for anybody who's already got Keldeo, you won't get a second one. You'll just get the same as what you've had. You'll just get additional candies for it and no shiny. So disappointing there. But yeah, Keldeo is going to be out and available again on a special time research, only for those players who haven't yet obtained it. Everyone else who has already got it will still get the time research, but instead of the encounter, we'll just get additional candies for the one that we have got, meaning that everyone will end the event on the same amount of Keldeos as each other, effectively. Oh, not a bad one. 477. I think the Hundo is 484. I believe. I remember from a video that I posted last night. The Hundo is 484 for Pidove. So 477, that is probably up there as my best ever Dynamax Pidove, but we will check at the end of the hour to see what the best one that I've currently got is. And like I say, Dynamax Unpheasant, its evolution, perhaps isn't the most appealing flying type Dynamax to have, but still it holds decent coverage, and it may become good if there was a move change. But mainly, if you do get a shiny one, the shiny Tranquil where it goes green looks absolutely amazing. Shiny Tranquil is one of my favourite shiny flying Pokemon. There we go. I'll just put him up here. The normal Tranquil, this is not a Dynamax one, but it is a super cool shiny. And that is Pidove's second form. So it's a 3-stage evolution, and this is the second stage, the middle stage. And for some reason, the final form doesn't carry on this green, but it does look very, very nice. So we're going to start heading down to what I hope is a couple more Dynamaxes down here. Sometimes they don't spawn in until you get a bit closer to them. Rank 1 again on that Dynamax Power Spot. Sorry, on that Showcase, Dynamax Power Spot. Ranking 1 on Dynamax Power Spots. So Yellow Gym, how long have these been in for? 10 hours. That means they will get their 50 coins, so we could potentially do that. I need to go get an ice cream. See you later. Okay, Kiki. I know your priorities. Ice cream over Danzo. That's fine by me. Depends what flavour ice cream, I suppose. Right, so think we might just attack that gym once more as we go past. Now, of course, today there's no event on Pokemon Go. Of course, Max Monday is a separate event, but there's no event, like a week-long event. We've recently had the Sunkissed Shores event finish yesterday. That was the event which saw Dondozo be released to the game. So that was available shiny straight away from level 3 raids. And of course, you could obtain it from a really annoying field research as well, which was really difficult. So the field research that you could obtain it from was win 3 1-star raids during that Sunkissed Shores event, which was super annoying because the only thing that was on 1-star raids was the costume slack off, which if you've already got a shiny one of, you don't really want to be raiding that. And then the Tatsugiri, which again has 3 different regional forms and can't be shiny. So it's a little bit annoying that you've got to, you feel a need to have to raid either one of those just to get a Dondozo encounter, and you've got to raid 3 of those to get 1 Dondozo encounter. So the math just didn't add up. I didn't think it was a very nice task to put on, but again, the aim of a company, I suppose, is to make more money. So that's probably what we were trying to do, is to get people doing more raids to try and get more additional Dondozo encounters. But I definitely didn't fall for it. I didn't do any of those tasks during that event. I just didn't see the point behind them. So I very much stuck to just waiting until a Dondozo raid popped up, and whether intentionally or whether just by pure coincidence, they hardly ever spawned Dondozo raids. I think I only saw about 10 or 12 during that whole event, and I did each and every one that I saw, but the spawn rate for Dondozo raids was very appalling during that week-long event, that Sunkissed Shores event. So yeah, a little bit disappointed with that. Could have made the raids appear a little bit more often, but no doubt we'll get it again. It's going to be on tier 3 raids at some stage again in the future. Very similar to when we released the Turtonator, Bombardier, Drugdagon as well. All of those came out on tier 3 raids and were available shiny straight away. So Dondozo fits that same bill, and no doubt we'll get it on a raid rotation yet again at some stage in the next couple of weeks or months. So if you did miss out on the shiny Dondozo, don't worry too much. You'll get other opportunities very soon, I'm sure. So we have an early Pidove here, but I don't think we're going to get to it before the 6 PM start time of Max Monday. So even though we've just completed that Pidove battle up there, that will respawn another Pidove, because the Max Monday is completely different. It won't block you out from completing one just because you've completed it already. It will actually just start a new one, so you'll be able to do an additional one on that power spot. So let's see what's happening here. It's just gone to 6 PM now. So this one should fresh, and there it goes, 59 minutes left on it. Well, let's get within reaching distance. This one should also be a Pidove. Has just turned into a Pidove now. So 2 stood side by side. So it seems to be the case where I live. It seems to be that we get 2 Dynamax power spots close to each other. Then there's a bit of a gap. Then we get another 2. They seem to come in 2s. Again, I don't know if that's intentional or not. But I do know this power spot was actually a failed Pokestop entry. One that I submitted. Well, it got accepted. It was just deemed too close to something else that was already in the game. So it didn't appear in the game for that reason. I think it would have probably been on another Niantic game, perhaps Ingress or something like that, as one of their portals or whatever you call them. But it was deemed too close to another Pokestop in Pokemon Go, and when this Dynamax feature came out, it actually turned into a Dynamax power spot. So if you are eligible to submit new stops in your area, even if you think something might be too close to something else that already exists in the game, just submit it anyway, because it might turn into a Dynamax power spot. You never know. So I've done that a couple of times now, and I've had a couple of additional Dynamax power spots. And obviously those power spots aren't there all the time, they do alternate. So some weeks they may be turned off, some weeks they may be turned on. But it's at least another Dynamax power spot if you can't get a Pokestop in because it's too close to something else. So definitely just submit it anyway. And you never know, you might still get a decent feature added to the game that you could use. So the first Dynamax Pidove of the official Max Monday, of course we did one earlier, but 470 CP, and again, not a terrible one, 3-star, 14, 13, 12. So not terrible. We'll jump straight in on the next one. And we just need to keep an eye out on how many max particles we are obtaining from clicking on these battles, because we do want to try and time it right where we claim those 300 walking ones to get the most max particles for today. Meaning we may be able to do an additional battle if we time it just right. But Dynamax Pidove is super easy to take down. You saw previously on the battle just before this one that using Dynamax or Gigantamax Charizard, we didn't actually have to Dynamax at all. And the same again with Zaramazenta that you can see here. Didn't have to Dynamax at all. So as soon as you get to that charge attack, just use it, and it may save you a little bit of time taking down these max battles. So 5,000 XP plus the 2,500 from the in-person bonus, which was a nice little feature that they added. So 476, we are sticking around that hundo CP. 484 is a hundo. So this won't be a bad one. Again, slightly better than the first one what you had during the hour, the third one of the evening. Let's have a quick look at this one, 476, and it is a very good one, 91 IV, 15 attack, so not bad at all really. We'll stick a star on that one. So let's have a quick walk up to the one that we actually did before, the early one. That would have respawned another Dynamax Pidove. So let's head up to that one now and see what we get from that one. Now, as I mentioned before, Dynamax Pidove can be shiny, of course. Show you that Tranquil that we had non-Dynamax shiny of Tranquil. But Dynamax Pidove can be shiny, but unfortunately it is full odds. So they aren't boosted just because of Dynamax. They are normally full odds, or the odds that they are found in the wild. Of course, last week we had Dynamax Chansey on Max Monday, but Chansey is a perma-boosted shiny. It's permanently boosted to 1 in 64. So Dynamax Chansey held the same shiny odds as that. So Pidove is normally 1 in 512 in the wild. So I'd fully expect the Dynamax version of Pidove to be exactly the same stats, or exactly the same odds, should I say, 1 in 512. So although a very, very outside chance of getting a shiny start, we're still going to hope that that can be the case. We did get a shiny Slowpoke on the way down, and that was full odds. So hopefully Dynamax Pidove can also shine for us tonight. Like I say, I don't know if I was lucky enough to get a shiny. I don't know whether I'd evolve it all the way. The evolution Unpheasant does look different between the male and the female genders, whereas Pidove and Tranquil don't really change that much between male and female, if at all. But the Unpheasants do change quite significantly. You can definitely tell a male from a female Unpheasant. But I'd probably just leave it in the middle form, the Tranquil, to get that lovely green shiny. I'd probably just do that until I at some stage get another shiny. But yeah, it would be a difficult choice whether to evolve it all the way or whether just to keep it as the Tranquil, the middle form. But at first, we've got to get a shiny. That's going to be the more difficult task. So I think the second phone, the comment phone, just went off because of apparently being too hot. Don't know why. Not really that hot out, but according to my phone, it overheated, so it turned the Wi-Fi hotspot off. But hopefully we can get that back on, and I can pick up on any comments that I missed out on. Gasly there. Got to check the Gasly. Always got to check the Gasly. So yeah, make sure to get your comments in down below. Get involved in the chat. What are your thoughts of the new season coming on Pokemon Go very soon? What are you looking forward to? Have you read up about the new season? Have you got any questions about the new season? Get your comments in down below and we'll try and answer those as best as we can. Right, we have got a task where we've got to defeat Rocket. So let's take on this Rocket. And it is Let's Rock and Roll. So probably Rock and Roller, perhaps. No, Amora, even better. I'll take that. Of course, can't be shiny, but still a nice shadow Pokemon to have. One of the newer ones. Got added in the, not the most recent rotation, but the rotation just before that. And then we've got Sheldon, or Shieldon, should I say? Sheldon. It's not Big Bang Theory. Yeah, Shieldon is second, and then Amoris at the end there. Origin Pulse incoming. And it's down and out. Easy. You always get so frustrated when we lose, don't we, the Rockets? Just chuck something on the floor out of frustration. It's like me when I play PvP. Just chuck my phone on the floor. I've lost again. Can't do this anymore. Bang. It's about right. PvP must be one of the most annoying aspects of this game. You can have a team which sort of like starts winning loads of battles and you think, oh yeah, this is the best team, I'm going to take everyone down. And then you lose like 5 in a row somehow. You just keep coming up against stuff that's really good against you. And then all of a sudden that's it, it's an open heart surgery, you have to change your whole team. Oh, I can't be losing 5 in a row. Next minute you're spending loads of Stardust, powering stuff up that you never thought you'd ever use for PvP. Yeah, it just ends up being like a terrible nightmare. Better off just sticking with a team. Even if you do go through bad patches, just stick with that team. If it's been good to you once, it'll be good to you again in the future. Just stick with it. Don't spend loads of Stardust changing up your team rapidly. Just stick with the main core of your team and that will hopefully be okay for you. So we'll take this gym. Been on here more than 8 hours, so we'll get their 50 coins if we've not already had them today. Always try and make sure that they do get the 50 coins. I'm not one of these who tends to beat people off before the 8 hour mark, especially where I live. It's so remote, it's difficult to get any coins anyway, so if you are lucky enough to be around this area, then it's always a bit of courteous to leave people on. Shiny and unknown is what I'm after. I always do like a unknown shiny on gyms. Yeah, as we expected, the Pidove that we did earlier has now become a new Pidove, meaning we can jump straight into that. But first of all, before we do that, let's just check to see how many particles we can claim. We can claim 140 more, so we can interact with one more power spot after this battle and then claim our walking ones, and that should give us a maximum amount of particles we could get today. So Zacian this time, we're just going with recommended. There's no point in setting up a team for this. It's if you've got decent enough Dynamax Pokemon, it's not going to get past your first Pokemon, so pretty much anything you use against Pidove will defeat it. Annoyingly with Zacian though, you do have to get to a max move, which is super annoying. Zaramazenta and Charizard before, we didn't have to. So might be useful to use one of those just to save you having to wait a few more minutes, or a few more seconds, should I say. Dynamax Pidove down and out. You win, surprisingly. Not really. 5,000 XP. Of course, we do get additional XP because of the current XP celebration event, which goes until October 15th. Of course, all around the level 80 coming out to the game. 461, that is more familiar territory to where we used to with Dynamax. Is a bit rubbish on the CP. We've been very, very lucky the first three that we've done tonight. The fourth one is pretty much back down to where we'd expect. 461. Probably only just a 3-star at these stats. Don't want to power it up. Let's just have a quick look. And yeah, just about a 3-star. 12, 11, 15. So missing 9 in total. 7 in total, should I say. So missing 7 in total. 8 would have been 82. 7 is an 84. So only just a 3-star. A couple of stats lower and it would have been a 2-star. So on to the next one, and like we mentioned before, interact with one more power spot, claim the walking ones, and then that gives us the most amount of max particles today that we can earn. I don't mind these non-event spawns because quite a lot of them are easy to excellent throw. I'll say that on a Teddy Ursa when I've completely messed it up. But it could be worse spawns than this. Let's just delete some of these to get some space. So we've got another power spot just ahead of us. We can, yeah, just about interact with it now. So there's 120 and 20 more today. Claim of 300. We've now got 1,410. So we can just about sneak another battle in as well, which is good. So let's revive anything that's fainted. Don't think Pidove had defeated that many Pokemon. I probably just didn't revive him from yesterday's Mega Gyarados raid day. Don't think Pidove's that powerful, but he's took down all those that we've just had to revive. Definitely haven't noticed if we have. So of course, tonight, live stream is all about the Max Monday, the Dynamax Max Monday. Happens every Monday between 6 PM and 7 PM on Pokemon Go. If you're enjoying the live stream, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on as well, and get involved in the comments. Comment down below any questions you want. We'll try and answer them, and if I don't know the answer, I won't beat around the bush. I won't tell you a load of lies. I will literally just say, unfortunately, I don't know that. So yeah, by all means, get those comments and questions in down below. And tomorrow we'll be live again. Just a reminder, we will be live again tomorrow at 6 at the same time as tonight, but for tomorrow it will be the Spotlight Hour, so another hour-long event, 6 PM till 7 PM, and that will be Pidgey Spotlight Hour. So Pidgey's going to be spawning more often in the wild. There's also 2 times Evolution XP, and also the new event starts tomorrow, which is the Kanto Celebrations event. So it's going to be a pretty much action-packed live stream, that is. We've got quite a few bits to go through tomorrow on the live stream during that Kanto celebration event and that Spotlight Hour, so make sure to tune in for that. And of course, if you have any questions about that new event, that Kanto celebrations, we'll answer those either tonight or tomorrow. Let me know in the comments. So 463, we have a 13, 10, 15. So again, only just about a 3-star once more, no shiny. So we've got a couple more up in this direction. We can see one there. We've probably got a couple more up there. So let's start heading in that direction to go and do those ones. How many particles have we got left? We've probably got, yeah, we've got enough for 4 more battles. If we can find 4, that is. I think I know off the top of my head where the power spots normally spawn. It's whether they're there this week or not. That's the main thing. Like I say, we seem to alternate between weeks. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're in a different place, but there seems to be about 2 or 3 different rotations where the power spots are either there or not, or they're somewhere else. And we just seem to alternate week by week. So what other tasks have we got to do for this XP celebration timed research? We've got to follow 2 routes. We can do one of those in just a moment. Defeat 5 Team Go Rocket members, of which we're on 3. We need to keep an eye out for any more rockets. And then that will see us over onto the next page. So keep an eye out for rockets and do routes. Now there's actually 50 different pages of that XP celebration timed research. Doesn't tell you what page you're on, annoyingly, but there is actually up to 50 different pages. I'm on about page 7, so it only gets harder and more difficult challenges, but of course the XP reward does go up in the later stages. The more stages you get onto, the more the XP. If you complete all 50 stages before October the 15th, so you have 6 weeks to do it, but if you do complete all 50 stages, you'll earn a collective total of 7 million XP just from that free time research. And that's of course if you don't lucky egg on any of it. If you lucky egg it, you'll double that to 14 million, but of course you're not going to lucky egg every single step unless you've perfectly timed your lucky eggs to do just that. But yeah, perhaps the later stages where it gives you more XP, I'll think about lucky egging it, potentially timing it that I claim those when we've got a level up friendship or something like that. Maybe even during a raid hour. So the power spots, we've one up there just with over 40 minutes on it. It's right next to an Necrozma, which is about to hatch as well. The Necrozma will be out of raid battles as of tonight/tomorrow, and that will get replaced by Palkia. So Palkia will be in raids, and that's a normal form Palkia. The origin form will be featured in raids as well, but only during the raid hours. So when this Wednesday's raid hour will be the origin form Palkia, and next Wednesday's raid hour will also be origin form Palkia. The rest of the time outside of those raid hours times will be the normal Palkia. So we're getting quite a few excellent throws, which is good for the XP. And speaking of XP, we are getting mighty close to our yearly target. We wanted to get to 1 billion XP by the end of the year. We were on 934 at the start of September, which is a huge achievement. Going off what we had at the start of the year, it is a huge achievement. Right, so let's see if there's any routes about here. Inner loop. That pretty much goes the way in which we want. It does, it goes right past that Necrozma raid as well, so that is pretty much perfect for us. And on that route, we may just slip off and do that Dynamax Pidove down there. and then head to that other one which is directly on the route. So it doesn't matter if you do deviate from the proposed route, as long as you start and finish at the same place and you've done the required distance for the route. Doesn't matter if you've done more, but just as long as you've done the minimum required distance for a route, you will be able to finish it when you get to the end. The only thing you'll miss out on if you do deviate too much from a route is the odd route spawns. So those spawns which do randomly appear along the route, and you'll know what they are because when they do appear, you'll see the little route symbol above them, and you'll just miss out on getting any of those if you do deviate too much from the route. So let's head over to this Dynamax Pidove. I think this will be the 5th one of the evening. I'll have to double check in a minute how many we've done. Let's check that now. Search Dynamax. So yeah, we've done 5 so far this evening. This will be the 6th of the evening. So not bad at all, really. And then once we've done that one, we're going to have to try and work out where is the best place to head to try and get some more in. Right, oh, Cherubi in the wild. Let's check that first. No, still no shiny. I think I've only got 1 shiny Cherubi. So we'll just check. Pretty sure I've got 1. There we go. Goes to a slightly lighter red colour. Quite a nice shiny, but it's just one of those where you don't quite know the evolution, which way it's going to go. It could either go to the sunflower one or the more cocooned one. So it depends which one you're going to get from the evolution. A bit like Wurmple, really. You don't know which way it's going to go into Cascoon or Silcoon. It's pretty much the same as that. It's completely random. So you can't manipulate it in any way, I don't think, anyway. Maybe if you evolve one during the daytime or maybe in the evening. I'm not too sure. I'm going to have to look into that. But I don't think you can manipulate which way Cherubi can evolve. Don't think so. Not unless there's a specific event where you get some more. Stop motion, yo Danzo, it's me, Lucy Logan. Hey Logan, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. So again, we're going to have to Dynamax this. Good, that's good to hear. Thanks so much for joining and getting involved in the comments. So there we go, Dynamax Pidove down and out. Let's start heading over to the next one. So we'll pick up this route where we left off it. But Rare Candy XL, that was a nice little bonus. And 5,000 XP, boosted to 7,000 because of the in-person, no shiny, 471. So again, not too far away from that Hundo CP, that 484 CP, but still perhaps had a few more that are better than it today so far. But again, we'll check them again at the end and see what our best Dynamax Pidove is at this moment in time, at the end of the hour. But we've got enough max particles where we can probably do, is it 3 more we can do now? Yeah, 3 more if we can find them. 250 per battle, 3 would be 750, meaning that 9, 10 would turn into 160. So we're going off for 3 more Dynamax battles if we can find them. There's 1 there, it's just whether we can find any more after that. That's going to be the challenge. And of course, we've only got the remaining 30 minutes, 35 minutes to get to them during the Max Monday hour. So I'm hopeful that there's a couple in some normal locations where we are. But of course, like I mentioned before, we do change locations. So I'll have to wait and see if they are there today. I might as well drop my daily adventure incense at the same time as well. A little bit of a walk to the next one, and then a bit further of a walk to the one after that, if I think the next Dynamax power spot is in the place that I think it is, at least anyway. Should perhaps use Campfire just to see exactly where the Dynamax power spots are, but it's not always 100% accurate. There's been a couple of times where I've used Campfire. For raids, it's absolutely brilliant. The raid boss, it will tell you exactly where it is, but for power spots, the Dynamax boss isn't always correct. You can end up going to a Dynamax power spot and it'd be a different boss than what it said on Campfire. And also the location. The location, sometimes it says there's one there with a specific boss on, and you head to it and there's actually no Dynamax power spot there. So it seems to be a little bit delayed in terms of Dynamax battles on Campfire. But I definitely use it for raids all the time to see if there's any particular raid boss that I'm searching for nearby where I live. But yeah, it is a really, really useful app. One of the better things that we did release over the last 12, 18 months. Maybe even more than that, to be fair. Perhaps a few years now that we've had Campfire. Nick it. Yeah. No, he hasn't caught. Let's try again. No, still hasn't caught. Nick it did not want to be caught. Nice little toad scorer. Moral. So gift wise, let's send some gifts out that we haven't yet sent out. Try and interact with some people because we're going to be picking more gifts up, so we might as well try and send some out just to get some more gifts in. Can receive gift, always a useful option. Rookedy, off the incense. No shiny, although is that disappointing? Perhaps it's better if it isn't after the com day that we've recently had. I think we're getting about 33 shinies at com day. 33, 34, something like that. So quite a decent com day in terms of shinies. Managed to get a couple of 3-stars as well, which is nice. Normally we get not very good ones from com days, but it was a nice change to get some good ones. Around about 3 3-star ones. Right, let's delete some of these 0-star, 1-star, 2-stars, jump into a Dynamax. And again, it's going for Zacian, but I'm going to swap that for Zamazenta because Zamazenta didn't require us to Dynamax. We could just defeat it using a charge move, so I'm hoping that's going to be the same case on this one. Saves us a little bit of time having to wait for that Dynamax animation. Super annoying when it's only a level 1. You'd think they'd give you the option whether you want to Dynamax or not. That would probably be better if it came up saying, do you want to Dynamax? Or Dynamax is available or something like that. You know, like on the Nintendo Switch game on Scarlet and Violet, you can choose whether to terrestrialize, is that what it's called? You can choose whether to do that. Annoyingly, this time we'd have to Dynamax with Zamazenta. But still, easy enough. Down and out. Let's see how good this Dynamax Pidove is. No shiny, 4, 6, 8. Could be better. Could also be worse. Again, probably bang in the middle of what you'd want. Let's just appraise that one quickly, just to see how good or bad it was. Recent 468. Yeah, pretty much bang in the middle. 14, 11, 14. So again, closer to a 2-star probably than a 3-star. Drugged again. Alright, so we'll spin that. Nicely incense Lord Pokestop up. Well, nobody seems to be about, so perhaps he'd lured it up and then disappeared. If there was somebody about, I'd have asked him if he wanted to do that the Cosmo raid. Zygarde's out. Don't really need them, but it's always nice. Must be getting towards maxing our Zygarde out now. 250, it's already maxed out, it's at 250 Zygarde cells as well. You can only hold 300, I believe. So we only need 41 until we reach a maximum amount held. I think after that they still spawn, you just don't get anything from them. So you just end up losing out effectively. But we'll complete this route. Follow 2 routes, we've done 1. We'll should be able to start another route now. Directly from the same Pokestop. So let's go route, see nearby, and the top one should take us to where we want to go. And I'm hoping there's a Dynamax up there, I'm hoping. There normally is. Hope that's the case. Commenting down below from Logan, I believe. Do you have any Pokemon cards? Yes, I do. I normally just collect Gengar ones, to be fair. So I've got quite a collection of Gengar cards at the moment that have all been graded. Some that I've just sent off for grading this week. So I'm going to be doing a video on what they get when we do come back. Best one that I've got graded is probably a pristine grade 10 Alt-Art Gengar. So Alt-Art Gengar, the 271 out of 264 is a card number. And it's very, very nice. Alt-Art Gigantamax Gengar is a super cool card. It's probably going for around about £1,500 at the moment. So yeah, 1,500 I think one was sold for quite recently. I did not pay that for it, so it's only gone up in value. So that's good. But again, that was one that I'd brought that had already been graded. When I'm buying offline, I always try and buy ones that have already been graded. So we're already in slabs, because then you can sort of compare it to the graded website, make sure it's all true and it's all real. And of course you don't get a costly fake card if you do that. So yeah, there's too many fakes about. It's really flooded the market at the moment with fake cards. Ruthless, come to say hi. Thanks very much, Ruthless. Hopefully you're doing okay. Thanks very much for jumping on. I have a Jolteon GX Rainbow. That is a very cool card. HP 200. Super cool card. Do like the rainbow ones. I also like the tag team ones. That's one of the Gengar cards I haven't got. I think it's Gengar and Mimikyu tag team. Haven't got that one yet. Keeping my eye out though. Desperately want that one. I think there's 2 different artworks as well to the Gengar and Mimikyu. I think there's like a standard art and then an alt art. Definitely want both of them at some stage, but keep my eye out for those. But yeah, anything Gengar cards, I go a little bit crazy for. Right, I'm hoping that somewhere up here is a Dynamax one. Super cool. It's a Pokemon GO version card. That's awesome. I have got a Mewtwo covered booster box of Pokemon Go, completely sealed still. Don't really want to open it. I've kept it sealed. There may be some really cool cards in there, but I haven't opened it. Should perhaps do a video of whether I open it or not. I think somebody else on YouTube already does that. I think there's that theme tune. Should I open it or should I keep it sealed? There's a few videos that I've seen of that. That guy's really funny. But yeah, I do some, we've had some special boxes, like some subscription boxes that I've done openings of. I've still got one left to open, so I may open that over the next couple of days. We've also got some Pokeball tins, which we haven't opened, that have been there for virtually a year now, and we've not yet opened them, so I don't even know what sets are inside those now. But we may open those in the next couple of days and weeks on the channel. And there is a Pokemon TCG section on the channel. If you go on my channel, scroll down, you can see quite a few unopenings videos of different things, so make sure to keep an eye out for those. But like I say, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn that notification bell on. You'll get notified when we post any videos up, so you don't miss out. So we have 2 more Dynamax up here, and that is pretty much all we can do. So these will be the last 2 Dynamax of Dynamax Pidove Max Monday. Getting a little bit out of breath walking up this hill, I must admit. At least it isn't raining at the moment, that's a good thing. Never quite know this time of year in the UK whether it's going to be sunny or rainy. It's either one or the other, it tends to be. Right, defeat a Team Go Rocket member. We've still got to do 2 more of those. Shellos appearing as a root spawn. Are we going to be lucky enough to get another Zygarde cell, or is Mateo not wanted to be grateful today? Doesn't look like he's going to give us one, does it? Normally it would have spawned by now, I think. Still, we'll exchange a gift with him. It's another couple of items. It's a shame that with the Mateo gifts, it doesn't give you 7-kilometer eggs that have like regionals in, because you can only see a Mateo once every day. It would be pretty cool if you had a chance of getting a regional egg from him, because of course already limited to 1 a day. That would be quite a cool feature. I always have these good ideas that I think the community will like. Maybe I should work for Niantic. Maybe I should apply for a job there, or Scopely as it's now known. I don't think I'd spend any time at work because I'd be playing the game instead of building it, I think. Ghastly in the wild. Can never turn down a wild Ghastly. Ooh, was that another Ghastly? No, it's the same Ghastly. Just disappeared and then reappeared again, annoyingly. Ruthless has commented and said, 2 seconds, I'll just get up on my phone. There are only 2 or 3 power spots in here, making me lose in making me lose interest in daily max grind. Yeah, it is a little bit annoying. It's quite difficult to find where I am at this moment in time. What level are you on the game, Ruthless? Are you over level 37 or are you under level 37? I think it's 37. You have to be. So down and out are penultimate Dynamax Pidove, the one before the last one. And no shiny 454. That is the worst one of the evening by quite a bit, I believe. Again, we'll check again at the end, but I believe that's the worst one we've had tonight. So yeah, what I was just about to say, Ruthless, is if you are level 37 or above, you can submit your own Pokestops in the game. And how I've managed to get a couple of additional Dynamax power spots in the game near me is by submitting stuff, even if the thing that I'm submitting is perhaps too close to another Pokestop, which is already in the game. Instead of it becoming a Pokestop, you can submit it, and if it gets accepted, even if it's too close to something else, you will get a Dynamax power spot instead of a Pokestop. So that's how I've managed to get a couple of mine in. So just literally, if you think anything is eligible, even if you think it's too close to something that's already exists, just submit it anyway, and you never know, you may end up getting a power spot instead of a Pokestop appear. So just submit anything you can. And it's really easy to submit if you don't already know. Yeah, like I say, you have to be over level 37, I believe it is now. But when you are eligible to submit, you can go into your settings on your game. You'll have uploads, and there you'll see at the top of the page Pokestop contribution. And you just click new stop there. You get to take a photo of whatever you're wanting to submit. You then have to take a surrounding photo, give it a name, give it a title, and also give it a bit of a description, and then it will go off to a submission process. So if you're over level 37, give that a go, and hopefully you can try and get a few more Dynamax power spots near you. If you're not quite at level 37, then definitely try and stick to it, and hopefully you can get there sooner rather than later. Right, so we've got one more power spot left to do. Glaring Farfetch'd, always a nice spawn. Again, that is a perma boosted shiny, and we'll actually get its other form tomorrow, which will be super interesting. During the Kanto celebration event, which starts tomorrow, each day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, we'll get a special timed research giving us an encounter with one of the regional Pokemon from Kanto region. So a reminder, the regional Pokemon from the Kanto region are Farfetch'd, I think that's normally Asia where it spawns, Kangaskhan, which is normally New Zealand and Australia, then Mr. Mime, which is normally Europe, and Taurus, which is normally the Americas. So those are the 4 regional Pokemon from the Kanto region, and we get all of those during this next event, which starts tomorrow, during a special timed research. Each day will give us a different encounter. Tomorrow will be Farfetch'd, so super excited for that. I really do like Farfetch'd as a Pokemon. Wednesday will be Kangaskhan time research. Thursday will be Mr. Mime, which is what we get here in Europe anyway. But Thursday will be Mr. Mime, and Friday we will get the last but not least Taurus. So that is a very, very cool shiny if you get one of those as well. So yeah, loads happening over the next few days on Pokemon Go. Like I say, you can hopefully tune in tomorrow for the Spotlight Hour live stream, same time tonight. And we can cover that new event starting. We can also cover the Spotlight Hour. and answer any questions you've got about our event tomorrow as well. So Dynamax Pidove, last one of the evening. Let's see if we can end on a high CP or maybe even a shiny one if we're lucky enough. Logan says he's going on Pokemon now. Must have convinced him to go on after watching me play. So the last Dynamax Pidove of the evening. Is it going to be anywhere near the 484 CP? Is it going to be shiny? 1 in 512 odds for that. So odds might not be in our favour for the shiny, but still a chance. There's still a chance. And of course, Dynamax Omanyte was 1 in 512, and we managed to get that on the second Dynamax battle when it got released. So we got very, very lucky with Dynamax Omanyte. So maybe Pidove can be lucky for us now. You win over 5,000 XP, 7,500 because of the in-person bonus, no shiny Pidove, and one of the worst ones tonight. So these last two have been absolutely terrible in terms of CP. But as we always do, we will compare what we've had tonight to what we've already had currently in terms of Dynamax Pidoves. I think we've had a couple before tonight. But let's have a quick look and see what we've got tonight and also what we had previously. So Dynamax, and tonight we've done 9 Dynamax Pidoves. Started off with a 477, very nice 96 IV there, 14, 14, 15. Then we had 470, 476, 91 IV, but had attack, so 15, 12, 15, 13, 13, should I say. Then 461, 463, 471, 468, 454, terrible 2-star, and 459, only just a 3-star. So not too bad in terms of Dynamax Pidoves, especially those first few. They were very, very good. That 96 one in particular, 14, 14, 15. But let's have a quick look and see how that compares to our other Dynamax Pidove. So if we go Dynamax and Pidove, and as you can see before, the ones without the blue halo down at the bottom, those are the ones that we saved previously. 476 was a 15, 15, 10, and 471 was a 13, 15, 15. So that 477 is by far our best one that we've had so far in the game. So definitely going to be keeping hold of that one. Maybe evolve it all the way to Unpheasant. Might have to wait and see how useful it is as a Dynamax. Don't think at the moment it's too useful, but maybe a move update might change that. So before we end the live stream for tonight, let's just do the last few remaining minutes of this daily adventure incense that we've got. We've got a couple of minutes left remaining on that, and we'll do this as we're heading back down. So again, reminder, if you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and turn that notification bell on. We'll be live again tomorrow on Pokemon Go. Same time as we went live today, around about 5:45 PM British summertime. So in around about 23 hours time. Make sure to set a reminder for that, or more easily, turn that notification bell on and subscribe to the channel, and you'll get notified when we do go live. But again, thanks very much for everybody who's tuned in tonight and got involved in the comments. I always like it when people get involved in the comments, whether it's asking questions, whether it's just generally being involved in the comments and asking how I am and one thing and another. So thanks very much for everybody who's got involved tonight, and hopefully we can get a few of you back on tomorrow as well for that spotlight hour. So 5 more minutes left of this daily adventure incense. Probably won't do all 5 minutes, but we'll do a few more minutes before we end the live stream. So again, XP wise, we are very, very quickly creeping up on that 1 billion XP mark. We wanted to try and hit 1 billion XP by the end of the year. It may be around Halloween time now that I'm targeting for 1 billion XP. So 60 million in around about 6 weeks time, 8 weeks time. That's possible, isn't it? 10 million a week, maybe. Don't know, it seems a bit much now when I've said it like that, but still, we'll try and target it. And the main reason I'm trying to target Halloween for 1 billion is that normally around Halloween time we get Gengar returning, and I can't think of a better way of getting to 1 billion XP than raiding or catching, or maybe even doing a Gigantamax battle. You never know, Gigantamax Gengar might come back around during the Halloween period. So I can't think of a better way to get to 1 billion XP by doing one of those battles of my most favourite Pokemon. So definitely try and get involved in that. I don't know whether I'll live stream getting to 1 billion or whether I'll just screen record it and post it at a later date. But definitely this year we are going to get to 1 billion XP, and I'm targeting Halloween now. We've moved the end of the year target forward just to try and do it when a Gengar is about. So that is now the new target. So we'll just see what the next couple of spawns are on the daily adventure, and then we will finish the live stream for tonight. So we've just got Girafarig. Let's see if we get the Galarian bird on the next one. Assuming Growlithe. Swadloon. So the daily adventure in sense has not been nice for us today. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thanks very much again for everybody who's tuned in tonight. Everybody who's hit that like button, that subscribe button. Big shout out to you. But thanks very much for everybody who's tuned in. Hopefully you can tune in tomorrow for Pidgey Spotlight Hour, 5:45 British Summer Time. So 23 hours time. Set a reminder, subscribe to the channel, turn that notification bell on. But thanks very much, and I'll see you tomorrow